Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about Do Revenge. Now I wanted to watch this movie because Camilla from Riverdale is in it and Uma Thurman's daughter Maya is also in it. They're like the two main characters, so I was obviously really interested. And I'm not going to do too much talking. We're just going to jump right into it. So, our movie starts off with Drea, who's played by Camilla. It is her birthday, and her best friend Tara, she threw her this huge, lavish birthday party. I'm pretty sure she's 17 at this point. Now, everybody that goes to the party basically goes to her high school, and I probably should mention that Drea, she's at the high school on scholarship, so she's not a rich kid. Everybody else is rich kids from important families or whatever. So Drea is a little insecure about that, and there was a mean girl at the party made fun of her a little bit because of she's there on scholarship, but Drea handled it with class. It was a cute little moment that showed that Drea can handle herself. It was like a good little introduction into the character. Now, Drea has this boyfriend, Max, and he showed up at the party a little late, but Drea didn't think too much of it because he did this whole firework thing display for her birthday. It was really cute or whatever, and the party goes by really fast. We later go to Drea and Max being in Max's van, I think. No, they're doing what teens do. They kiss, they're having a good time. Also, it's spring right now and it's almost summertime. So Max is like, oh, Drea, I'm really going to miss you. I hate being apart from you, all that, yada, yada, yada. So he's like, maybe you can give me something to, keep me company. And Drea, she was thinking about it. Like, this whole scene goes by pretty fast. Like I said, they're just making out in the van and he brings it up. So Drea, she was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a good girlfriend or whatever. And what she does is she sets up her camera and she makes him a little video. She makes him a little video. And she's feeling okay about that. But fast forward to the next day. Drea and her best friend Tara, they're walking outside school. It's a normal day. And everybody's looking at Drea and being like, oh, nice video. You really know your angles, yada, yada, yada. And it turns out that the video was leaked everywhere. And everybody saw it. The whole school saw it. Drea, reasonably, is very upset by this because she was exposed in front of the entire school. So she's looking around. She's trying to find Max, like, what the heck is going on? She finally finds him. She's like, how could you do this to me? And Max is like, I would never do this. I didn't do this. I love you. Drea don't believe him. So what she does, she gets upset and she punches him in the face. Rightfully so. Rightfully so, right? So like I mentioned earlier, Drea is at the school on a scholarship. So she gets called to the dean's office or whatever the lady is. And apparently Max is the school's golden boy because his parents are like important people or whatever. So what ends up happening is he gets nothing. He gets away with it. And Drea ends up on behavioral probation with mandatory community service. And like I said, Max gets away with it because she technically assaulted him and there's no evidence that Max is the one that sent out the video to everybody. He claims that he got tagged. And reasonably, Drea's not doing too well with this information. It's literally the last couple of days of school and this just comes out of nowhere. And Tara, she's like, nobody's really being there for Drea. She's feeling isolated and alone and everybody's seen the video. Like I said, it's all over the school, so it's all bad. So up until this point, Drea has been doing voiceovers for the whole movie. Now, Eleanor, our other main character, she's doing a voiceover. Eleanor is completely different from Drea. You can tell by their wardrobe and the way they act. Drea has this colorful, girly girl / mean girl vibe going on. Eleanor, she has this kind of laid back, tomboyish, like I don't really care about my bad reputation type vibe, And Eleanor, apparently, she ends up going to tennis camp. She's already regretting it. She hates tennis camp. She's bored. It's just blah. But Drea, she works at the tennis camp, and apparently the video got there. It was spread all over, and Drea's feeling down because maybe I guess she thought that she could escape the video at least for the summer, but now it followed her. So Eleanor, seeing this, she tries to go up to Drea and be like, "Hey, I didn't see the video, but the girl who spread it around is Erica Norman. Not an important character, but yeah, she didn't like Drea. She's kind of a mean girl as well. Drea, she in her feelings right now, so she's not really trying to connect with Eleanor. She thinks it's pity, so she's being mean to Eleanor. But she took that little tip and she set Erica up. She made it seem like Erica was doing drugs, and that got her kicked out of camp and a bunch of other stuff that's gonna come up later in the video. But yeah, Drea was feeling herself because she got revenge on the girl that spread the video around the tennis camp. She still don't know what's gonna happen with the whole it spread around school and everything. Like I said, this is the summer, so it's the end of tennis camp. Drea is no longer working there. Eleanor is no longer required to be there. So Drea's trying to get out of here. She's tired. That video is everywhere. She's just trying to leave. But her car will not start and she's frustrated. Luckily, Eleanor is right next to her in the parking lot. She's like, "Hey, you need a lift?" And now they're in a car together. She's driving her home. Now, with the whole road trip thing they got going on, Eleanor is trying to connect with Drea. Like I said, she said she didn't see the video. And Drea's like, "Well, I guess you're the only one, you know?" And she's like, "Yeah, that was kind of messed up, and I understand how you feel." So Eleanor, what happened to her is she's a lesbian. And a long time ago, when she was, well, maybe not, she was 13, and she met this popular girl who was, you know, the girl of whatever camp they went to. It was another camp at the time. And all she wanted to do was be her friend. Eleanor was very much in the closet at this point, so she hadn't told anyone. But eventually, this girl and Eleanor, they had become friends. The girl made Eleanor feel comfortable and safe. And so Eleanor told the girl, she was the first person that, the girl was the first person that Eleanor told that she was gay. And for like a moment, Eleanor was so happy. Everything was good. But the girl told everyone that Eleanor tried to kiss her and she held her down. So she basically turned her into this predator, social pariah, and it really messed Eleanor up for years. So now they're both, Drea and Eleanor, they're bonding over traumatic experiences about like trusting somebody and them completely betraying that trust. Also, I forgot to mention that the girl's name is Carissa Jones. She's gonna come up later because apparently that girl goes to their high school. Well, Dre's high school. But now Eleanor is actually transferring to that high school because she has no choice. That high school is, you know, like I said, it's a bunch of rich kids. So going there is like basically the best step that they could take into getting to Ivy League schools. That's the goal for everyone, basically. And Eleanor and Drea, you know, they're chilling in the car talking about their experiences and everything. And Drea's like, "Oh, yeah, the girl goes there. It's going to be weird seeing her." And Eleanor's like, "Yeah, you know, it's going to be like you seeing Max." And they stop to get some food. And they basically, Drea, she says that she can't leave the school. Eleanor's like, "Why can't you leave?" And she's like, because, like I said earlier, that school is the best way to get into an Ivy League school. It's the best path, and she really wants to get into Yale and then Harvard Law. Like, that's her dream since forever, and she's focused on that. So she's like, "I'm going to endure this. I'm going to stay at that school for just this one more year," because they were juniors last year when the video came out. Now they're seniors. So she's like, "One more year, senior year, I can do this." And now she has Eleanor. So, yeah, Neither one of them really wants to go back. Well, go to that school because Eleanor, she don't want to see Carissa, and Drea, she kind of has it worse because all her friends chose Max's side in the whole situation. Because, like I said, Max is the golden boy of the school. His parents are super powerful and influential, and everybody's on Max's side, and they basically just leave Drea out to dry. So summer is over. It is now fall, and it's Eleanor's first day of school, and she randomly runs into this girl, and she's giving her a tour, and they have a cute little vibe about them. Like, they're having really good banter, and it's a really good flowing conversation. They're kind of like bouncing off each other, making jokes and everything. It's really cute. And Eleanor, she spots Drea. She's walking up towards her old friends, well, her friends now, and her best friend Tara, she walks up to Drea like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I meant to text you, it's just been really crazy with everything that happened, and Max, his parents like supports my parents with the election or some crap like that." And Drea, she's keeping it cute, she's keeping it classy. She's like, "Oh yeah, I totally understand, everything's fine, blah 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 blah." But then Max walks up. So Max is like, "Hey Drea, last year was crazy. I didn't do it. I just really want to put the past behind us, blah blah blah, that." And he's like, "Yeah, and I especially don't want it to be awkward now that me and Tara are dating." Drea's best friend is now dating her ex who did that to her. Yeah, so Drea reasonably is feeling upset by this, but she's not letting it show. She's keeping it cute. She's keeping it classy like she's been doing this entire time. And she's just trying to not stir the pot even more and just trying to live her life. So she walks away after a little bit, and Eleanor witnesses all of this. It's very awkward. So the scene changes. And now they're in like a auditorium type setting, and Max is apparently the senior class president, and he's giving a little speech, and he's getting emotional because he brought up what happened last year, and he's basically saying everybody who shared the video and saw it, shame on them, and you really think about yourself and blah blah blah. And he said it was such a traumatic experience for him. His privacy was violated, basically making the whole thing about him. And he even had the nerve to start a club called the Cis Hetero Men Championing Female Identifying Students League. This dude he's interesting. He's very bold, very bold. And he tells Drea to stand up, actually. He tells her, before he revealed the whole group, he tells her that he's so sorry that this happens to her, and that everybody should be ashamed of themselves, blah, blah, blah. And he said that she was the inspiration behind the group. And Drea's over it at this point. She's over it. So she walks away, and Eleanor follows behind her. So now they're in the bathroom. She's had it, she's upset, she's angry. And Eleanor, she's trying to be comforting, and she's like, "I wish that we could just hire somebody to get revenge on the people who wronged us." Because earlier, when Eleanor first came, earlier in the day when she first came on campus, she ran into Clarissa, and it was a very awkward and weird interaction as well. So now both of them are feeling awful about the entire day. And Eleanor is like, "I wish we could just hire somebody to do our revenge." And Dre is like, "Oh, why don't we do each other's revenge? Why don't, nobody knows we know each other. So I can get revenge on Clarissa and you can get revenge on Max." So now her wheels are turning, and it's only getting crazy from here. It's only getting crazier. So at this point of the movie, Drea is giving Eleanor a whole makeover, making her more girly and preppy so she can get the revenge on Max for Drea. Honestly, this whole movie to this point and like beyond is it's giving John Tucker Must Die, that movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a really fun movie actually. Like check it out if you like revenge plots or like cute little girl montages. It's an interesting movie. Just check it out, watch a trailer or something. But yeah, so Drea feels like getting revenge on Carissa will be a lot easier because with girls, all I have to do is ruin their reputation. Say they slept around or something like that. It'd be super easy. But for Max, he's the golden boy of the school. So it's going to be much harder to get revenge on him because, as they saw earlier in the movie, he can do no wrong. Like, even when he's in the wrong, nothing happens. So they got to come up with some type of elaborate scheme. And since Drea has to do community service anyway for Punch and Max, she's gonna volunteer with this like garden group or whatever that Carissa is the head of. And Drea feels like it'd be super easy for Eleanor to get in with Max because all you gotta do is be cute. That's it. And he'll immediately be on you. And she was right, apparently. Like, after the cute little makeover montage or whatever, all Eleanor had to do was walk past him where he could see her and not pay attention to him, and he was on her like that. That's all it took. And it was a little harder for Drea to get in with Carissa because apparently they had a past where Drea said something mean to Carissa one time, so it was a little harder for her to earn her trust. So Carissa basically stuck Drea with this dude named Russ, who will become a little important in the future. But back to Eleanor. So Max was on Eleanor hard. He was trying to, see what her vibe was about or whatever. And he basically invited her to this pool party at her house. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll come or whatever. I'll think about it. And yeah, that was her end. She was good to go. And Drea obviously was excited. Her plan was coming to fruition. She's like, let's go. Let's pick out your outfit. Great. Fast forward to the party. Eleanor, she shows up cute in her bathing suit, and Max and the group, they welcome her in with open arms just because Max says so. He's the king of the castle apparently, so whatever Max says goes. But Eleanor, she's having a good time. It's a vibe or whatever. And she stepped away because she's supposed to be snooping at the house trying to find some dirt on Max, and she ends up finding the girl from earlier who did a tour for her when she first got to the school. Turns out that she's Max's sister, so that's a little awkward. But once again, they're having this cute little vibey, bantery moment or whatever, and the sister invites Eleanor back to go watch a movie or something and get away from the party, and she wants to say yes because she's very obviously interested. But like I said, she's supposed to be snooping, so unfortunately she had to turn the girl down. Now, while all that's going down, Drea, I keep calling the girl Dre, but Drea, she's actually at the beach spying on Carissa, but she's making it seem like, she's just chilling. So Russ, the guy from earlier, he sees her. He's like, and Drea, she's trying to play it off. She's like, are you stalking me? And he's like, yes. And, they have this cute little bantery back and forth thing going on. And it's very cute. Like, the vibes are there. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And they're being very cute. But eventually, Russ walks away. And Drea, she's there on a mission. She's trying to get the keys to Carissa's greenhouse because Carissa has a greenhouse at the garden place or whatever, and it's locked up. Nobody else has a key except for Carissa, and Drea thinks she's hiding something in there. So she waits for the perfect opportunity when Russ and Carissa go to surf or swim or whatever they were doing, and she steals the key. Now, back to the party. While Eleanor is snooping, she ends up in Max's room, but out of nowhere, Max and Eleanor's ex-best friend, Tara, they walk in, they're kissing, they're, getting handsy, it's about to go down, but Tara stops out of nowhere, and she's like, is it weird that Dre is not here? And I guess she's feeling guilty about the whole thing. I guess she has a conscience now. And Max isn't feeling that. He's like, I'm trying to, and you over here talking about my ex. That's weird. And she's like, but she was my best friend, blah, blah, blah. Max wasn't trying to hear that. He was just trying to do his due. And Tara, she wasn't feeling that at all. So she went off of him a little bit and she left. And Eleanor, she's in the room. She's hiding in the bathroom. And once Tara left, Max found Eleanor and he was like, I know what you're doing. Eleanor's freaking out a little bit on the inside. But he was like, you're trying to hide from my party. He's like, I know if it wasn't my party, I would be hiding from my party too. So he takes her to this secluded spot. It's very cute, overlooking the beach and all that. And they're talking. Eleanor, she, back in the room, she did get a little dirt. She saw text messages that he had from a bunch of other girls that he was cheating on Tara with. And also Drea when they were together. Like, the text messages go back. But back to the conversation they were having, Tara, she was snooping for information or whatever. She was like, tell me your deepest, darkest secret. And, I'm interested in you. I'm trying to know you. And Max, being the narcissist that he is, he was opening up. He's like, I don't care about all of this. I don't care about being popular. I would give it all away in a second to just go backpacking in Europe or something. Just blah, blah. Yeah, whatever, After the party, Drea and Eleanor, they meet up because Drea got the keys to the greenhouse. So now they finna go snooping and seeing what else Carissa got going in that garden. So Drea, she's asking about the party. How did it go? Did you get any dirt? And Eleanor's like, yeah, I saw these text messages, blah, blah, blah. But she didn't get like a screenshot or anything like that. But she knows they're in the phone. So they're going to have to go back and find a way to get that phone. So Dre's a little annoyed by that, but it's something, So they get to the greenhouse. They unlock the lock. They go in, and it's Drug City. There is stuff growing everywhere. I don't know how you two feel about the words. I ain't going to say it, but use it to your imagination. Carissa, she's growing stuff in her greenhouse. And that's perfect because now all they got to do is set her up. She set herself up growing it on school property. That was very dumb, growing it on school property. I know she was the only one with the key, but I don't know why she thought nobody would eventually get curious what's growing up in there. And also, Carissa, she's doing this very important, she's a chef, I guess, and she was cooking this dish for the senior ring ceremony dinner or whatever, and it was supposed to be like a big break for her or something. So Dre gets the idea to put the drugs in the senior dinner food that Carissa's supposed to be cooking. So now it's winter, and it's the ring ceremony party, and while Max is on stage doing another speech because he's the senior whatever, he's the man of the school. He's up there doing another speech. Drea, she sneaks off to put some stuff in some soup that Carissa cooked. It was a whole fancy dinner, course meal, whatever, but she put the stuff in the soup. And Carissa was also on stage because she was supposed to do like a quick little 1-2 speech or whatever, thanking everyone for coming and trying her food, blase, blase, blase. So Drea, she eventually gets back and everybody's eating and nothing seems to be doing the trick. Like nobody's acting weird or whatever. So Drea and Eleanor, they go to the restroom to meet up, like, what's going on? Why is it not working? Why is nobody not acting weird? Out of nowhere, her old friends bust in the bathroom tripping. Like, they acting crazy, they being weird, they all over the place. So apparently, yeah, it worked. Everything worked. And once they got the restroom, they see everybody that's there is tripping. Like, people are in the fountain, people are driving carts and just crying on the phone, going crazy. Like, people are tripping, okay? And also, Drea, she tipped off the headmistress, the principal, whatever the titles is for that lady, off that there's drugs in the food, and also Carissa was growing drugs in the greenhouse. So yeah, now Carissa is in huge trouble because obviously it's on school property, which I do not understand. Like, why would you do that on school property? That literally makes zero sense. And now she's getting expelled. So now Eleanor's part of the revenge is over. Dre got revenge on Carissa for Eleanor, and now it's time for Eleanor to really kick it into gear with getting revenge on Max for Drea. Also, at the party, Max was one of the people who were tripping because everybody ate the food. So Max was scared hiding under the table because he felt like there were spiders everywhere. Eleanor was like, "There's spider on your phone, quick!" And he threw it on the floor. And Eleanor downloaded everything from his phone and she sent it to the cloud or whatever. I think she sent it to the cloud. But so fast forward to the end of the night, after all that craziness went down, they get back to Drea's house. Drea, she's there on scholarship. She's not rich like Eleanor, the other kids. So she's feeling a little insecure about her house size. And she tells Eleanor that she hates that she was so scared that her other friends would find out where she lived and how she lived. And at this point, you can see how close Drea and Eleanor are really getting. But Drea, she eventually works the nerve to see what was on that man's phone. And boy, like I said earlier, he's cheating on Tara. He was cheating on her with literally half the school of the girls. Like, it was ridiculous. And again, this is another John Tucker must die moment where dude is a player. He's dipping his chip in a bunch of women's. Yeah. So it was a very hard moment for Drea to realize that none of it was real, that he never really loved her, even though she loved him. And it's very sad. You can tell how upset she was. And Eleanor was doing her best to, cheer her up and be there for her. Because like I said, you can see at this point how close they've gotten. In the next scene, Drea is back at school and she finds out that Max actually did an interview and he did his side of the story in the school's magazine. And it's bringing up all the old stuff. He's making it seem like he's the victim and that like I said, he's going to stick to the story. He was hacked and Drea overreacted when she punched him. It's all her fault. Blech. Yeah. So Drea, she left. She's finna ditch. She's feeling upset. She's crying. And she runs into Russ from earlier, the guy she was vibing with, and apparently he was still upset because Carissa was a really good friend of his and he's not feeling school either, so they ditched together. He drives her to this warehouse that he's a rich kid as well, so his father bought a warehouse and I guess he decided to do nothing with it, so he decided to give it to Russ, and Russ uses like an art studio. And whenever he's upset, he goes there to like paint and throw paintballs or whatever. So that's why he took Drea there, to like release some of that anger that she's been holding in. And they have this cute little paintball war and they're throwing it back and forth on each other. It's very cute. Like, it's very flirty and cute and lively and all that good stuff. And obviously they kiss. It's a passionate kiss. The whole thing is very cute. So the next day is Valentine's Day. They had planned on exposing Max to the entire school for what he was on Valentine's Day. So Max is on the stage yet again doing another speech for whatever reason. And Drea gives Eleanor the signal to expose this man. And the text is flying all over school, sent to everybody's phone. Initially, everybody was upset. Everybody was mad. Tara was freaking out because her reputation's on the line. Max is freaking out because his reputation's on the line. Everybody's going crazy. The girls who thought they were special were going crazy because, like I said, half the school. He was sending pictures and texts to half the school. Well, the girls were sending pictures to him. He wasn't sending no pictures. But like I said, half the school of the girls. And Tara gets this idea to say that they're in a polyamorous relationship. And they made their friends say that, yeah, it's very progressive of them, like try to spin it in a good way. And it worked. Nobody was upset anymore. And now there's a bunch of other girls and even some dudes are like, I have a chance with Max. I'm just like, okay. And obviously, Drea is very annoyed by this because she thought she had him. She thought she got him as like a fake feminist and a cheater and a liar and all that. But then they spent it to where it's like, oh yeah, we're just in an open relationship, you know? That's all that this is. And it's the whole thing is very stupid. It really is. And not even to mention later she got called to the principal headmistress office and she told her that the magazine the school's magazine was sent to the Yale's administration office. So now they know about what happened between her, well, how she assaulted Max, and they denied her acceptance to the school because of that. So now Drea is even more upset, even more pissed, even more angry, and she's hurt. That was her dream for so long, and now she's basically spinning. She is out for blood. She is ready for war. Now that Drea chance into getting to Yale, her dream is ruined. Like I said, she's ready for war. She's ready to go off. She's ready to go after everybody. Max, her so-called fake friends, every single one of them can get it. And she has a plan. So there's a party for Ivy League acceptance. Everybody who got accepted to Ivy League from the school. There's a from dusk till dawn party or whatever. And there, anything goes. There's no phones allowed. And you can do whatever you want. Get as crazy as you want. Is one of those type of parties. So Drea's like, we're going to get Eleanor to that party. She's going to record everybody and send it to the schools and ruin their chance in their life as well. Eleanor's, she's on board with the plan. Whatever. Also, I should mention that the next day, we're just going to skip to the next day. It's Eleanor's birthday. And now she's hanging out with Max's sister. And like I said, they're vibing, they're cute. And they really feeling each other. And they confess that they like each other. There's a cute kiss and everything's going well. Eleanor's happy. So she gets home and turns out that her new friends threw her a surprise party for her birthday. Eleanor is on cloud nine. She's happy. She's starting to enjoy the popular life with all those people. And, she's feeling herself a little bit. And Drea, she's trying to get a hold of her, but Eleanor's ignoring all of that. She's chilling. She doesn't really care about whatever Drea's got going on right now. It's her birthday. She's trying to turn up. So Drea, she finds out that they threw a surprise party at her house. So Drea, she pops up. She sees that Eleanor is getting a little too comfortable with Max. So she's like, can I speak to you, Eleanor? So they're outside. Drea's like, why are you ignoring me? Like, why are you you like him? You like Max? Like, you like this life? They will turn their back on you in an instant. They don't, this is all fake. None of this is real. They're not your real friends. And Eleanor, she said some really hurtful stuff. She basically says that she doesn't believe that Max did it. And she knew that would hurt Drea because that's how all this started, the entire mess. And Drea, she's upset, and she goes away. She's like, forget you, I'm done. Now, as Eleanor tries to go back to the party, Max's sister heard not everything, but she heard the part about what she said about Max not doing it. And Max's sister, she's no fool. She know that Max did it, but she was upset that Eleanor would say something like that to hurt somebody. And she's like, I see your true colors now. I guess I know who you are now. And basically breaks it off with her. And this is leaving, the whole scene is sad. It's leaving Eleanor distraught that something that she had with somebody that she really, really liked is broken up. And plus, she feels bad about what she said to Drea because she knew that she was wrong. But in the heat of the moment, So later that night, Drea car doesn't start again. She's trying to go get her mom from work, but her car's not starting. So she ends up calling the car repair company and she's like, is it the same thing that happened last time with my car or what's going on? They tell her that The reason her car didn't start last time when she was leaving tennis camp, somebody stole her sparks plugs. So at this point, Drea's wheels are turning. She's like, what's going on? Like, who would have motive? And it dawns on her, Eleanor. Like, who else would have the means to do something like that? But what would be her motive? So the next day, she goes to this fancy upscale rehab center to go see Carissa. Carissa was like, yeah, when I first saw Eleanor, I almost didn't recognize her because she looks different. Apparently, Eleanor had a nose job and she goes by a different name. Eleanor used to be Nora. And Drea, she knew Eleanor. Carissa was like, how do you not recognize her? We all went to camp together. And it turns out that Carissa was Eleanor's girlfriend. Like, both of them were in the closet back in the day, but she was her girlfriend. And Drea was actually the girl who made up that lie that she tried to hold her down and kiss her. So now everything is clicking. And there's like a whole little flashback montage about how everything happened, how Eleanor stole Drea's spark plugs to make her get in the car with her, how Eleanor basically set up this whole thing just to get close to Drea and ruin her life. Yeah, it was very dramatic. Like, it was very crazy. So Drea, upset by all of this, obviously, she drives home. And when she gets there, Eleanor is waiting for her. She's like, your mom said you're going to be here by yourself. And I thought that was really sad, so I decided to cook you some food. She cooked her grilled cheese. They had grilled cheeses together at the beginning when they first, like, re-met after the tennis camp thing. But, yeah. And she basically tells her that, yeah, you ruined my life. And Dre was like, you had me ruin Chris's life for no reason. I thought you guys liked each other. She's like, Eleanor was like, yeah, but she abandoned me when I needed her the most. And she went back in the closet and I felt isolated and alone, and how she went through so much emotional trauma because of what Drea did. And Drea is just sitting here like, whoa. Because I'm not going to lie, Drea, she's a bad person sometimes. I can admit that. She definitely is a bad person sometimes. But when when I was looking at like the flashback of everything that Eleanor did and the crazy look that Eleanor was giving Drea when she was explaining her plan, it was intense. It was definitely intense. Apparently, Eleanor's plan was to ruin Drea. But like I said, they were getting close. They were like starting to become friends. But after what happened at her birthday party, Eleanor was like, you know what? Let's do it. The only way to get through it is to get through it. So I'm going to keep going. And she basically told Drea that Drea is now going to be the one who records everything at that party and exposes her ex-friends. And she's going to send the videos to all the Ivy League schools from her computer and her IP address, so they go down and she goes down. And if she doesn't, she's gonna plant drugs on Drea's mother, who is a nurse. The whole scene was crazy. It was very super villainy. It was just crazy. As Eleanor was leaving Drea's house, she was like, oh yeah, I told Russ what you did to Carissa. So Drea, she's freaking out. She really likes Russ. Like, they really like each other. They have something going. It's like, it's a really cute relationship that they got going. So she's freaking out. She's driving over, calling him frantically, apologizing for it. And it turns out Eleanor never told Russ what happened. So Drea basically confessed what she did to him. And that was kind of the point. But while she was on the phone trying to backtrack, Eleanor drove her car into Drea's car and sent her to the hospital. And Drea's unconscious, but she wakes up and Russ is at the hospital because he was on the phone with her while the accident happened. So he found out what happened to her, where she was, and he was like, are you okay? You know, he was showing his concern at first, and he was like, confess what you did. And she's like, if I do that, it won't be the same for me. Carissa's just this rich girl, and it will blah blah blah. And Russ is like, I understand all of that, but you still did wrong. You should confess. And Drea she couldn't do it. He was like, you don't care about nobody but yourself. Eleanor overheard that, and now she's, like I said, she's being very super villainy. So it's she crazy. She yeah. And like I said, she just drove her car into Drea. But the reason she did that is because she wanted to give the group an excuse to bring Drea back in and to get her an invite to that party. So, and it worked. They felt sorry for her. They were like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I miss you, blah, 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 blah. And so far, Eleanor's master plan is coming to fruition. Every little step she took, it's working out. I should say that Eleanor at this point, she is feeling a little torn because, like I said, they were becoming friends, and she is feeling a little guilty about it, but it's too late to turn back now. That's what she got going on here. It is way too late to turn back now. And I think it was like the next day, Dre was at school contemplating her life, and she was in the restroom by herself, and Tara walks in. Tara is feeling very apologetic because they were actually best friends, and she apologized for letting like social politics and the influence that Max had like control her friendship, like, and basically make her abandon her. And Drea, I guess she's forgiving her at this point. She's like, she's just feeling very defeated. She needs a friend at this point because Eleanor is not who she thought she was. And she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And Tara, she's being kind. She's sincerely trying to hype her up, trying to make it, like, trying to see if she's okay, and trying to make her be like, you're that girl. You can't be defeated. You can't, bow down. You can do this. You can rise up above this. It's almost over, and you got this. Like, Tara's actually trying to be a friend at this point, I guess. So I guess that was the kick that she needed to stand up and be like, okay, I can do this. It's almost over. Let's just do this at this point. So fast forward, maybe it's the next day, maybe not, but fast forward, they're at the party. Eleanor meets up with Drea, and since it's a no phone allowed party, Eleanor, she has like this little butterfly brooch thing going on. I don't think it's a butterfly, but it was a brooch and it has a camera in it. And she was like, you're going to get them to, do stuff. You're going to record all of this, and, the plan. All that good stuff, I guess. And like I said, Drea's back in the group, so all of them are hanging out, and everything that could be going on at this party is going on at this party. Drugs, hookups, everybody's dancing, having fun, going wild, doing all the stuff, because there's no cameras. Supposedly, there's no cameras. Everybody's being free to do exactly what they want. And, the group is hanging out. And I think somebody asked Drea to do some drugs, and Drea's like, nah, I'm good. But Eleanor, she was like, do it, Drea. Don't be a something. She said, don't be a something. But then Drea turns it back on Eleanor. She's like, isn't Eleanor so pretty? Like, she's so pretty. And you wouldn't even believe that she had a nose job or whatever. But, before that, she was like, dang, you trying to get with both? And she was talking about Max and his sister. She let it slip on purpose that Eleanor was feeling Max's sister. And, all of that was cool or whatever, but Eleanor was feeling a little self-conscious, but she admitted that she liked her. Drea also brought up the fact that Eleanor used to be Nora. And apparently almost everybody in their group knew who Nora was. But like I said, she had a nose job. She changed her name. She has a whole new look. So nobody recognized her until Drea pointed it out. And they used to make fun of her and call her Nosy Nora. And Drea feels like crap. She feels really bad about this after she does it because Eleanor runs away, and she follows her, and she's tired at this point. She's tired of the jabs, the back and forth. She's tired of it all, and she's apologizing profusely, and she's just like, she hates everything that's happening because Eleanor was her real friend. She was her only real friend. And yeah, like I said, she's just tired. And out of nowhere, like a super villain out of a movie, Max comes from creeping around the corner, and he's slow clapping. He's. It was like, oh, that was so sweet, or whatever. Turns out Max, he was suspicious of Eleanor and Drea, so it's his party. So the phones were collected. He got into Eleanor's phone, and he saw all the text messages and everything that they did. Now Max knows everything, and he's doing this whole little villain montage about how he made Drea and how she should have been thankful for him or whatever. And he actually admitted that he tried to knock her down a few pegs because they both can't be at the top, and he admitted that he exposed her. They sent that video to all around the school. And at this point, Drea's brooch is broken. She broke it when she was apologizing to Eleanor. But as Max walked away, after he walked away, Eleanor started laughing. And she's like, it's called double assurance. Turns out Eleanor had her own little brooch that was recording the entire conversation. And at this point, they're back together. Like, they're good. They're friends. All is forgiven. And they're just like, we're twisted soulmates at this point. Like, we're both crazy. They both crazy. Yeah. So they're finna go back to the party and expose Max. Max is back at the party, feeling like the king of the world. He's getting away with it all. He has no worries. All of a sudden, the music stops. Everybody's complaining like, what's going on? What's going on? So he goes out to check. And the video of what he confessed to is on the wall, on a projector, and the entire school is seeing exactly what he did and what he said. And at first he's denying, like, this is a joke. Those girls are crazy. Eleanor and Drea did this. And yeah, the whole school's turning against him because now there's irrefutable proof that he actually sent that video around, and he's not a feminist, and he's a terrible person, and he's digging his own grave. He's like, I made you guys would be nothing without me, blah, 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 blah. And, he's saying he's glad that he sent that video around. He's glad he did this, and that. Mind you, he is on drugs, so he's feeling a little bold. He's feeling a little froggy at this point, but it's too late. There's nothing he can do. His reputation is ruined. The entire school knows exactly what he did. And Drea and Eleanor are feeling very happy, very, they're feeling good. They're happy about the way this ended. Like I said, their friendship is repaired. Max is destroyed. All is well in the world, for the most part. So, also, Max got expelled, so finally. But at this point, Drea, she's feeling like a new person after everything that she experienced, after this new friendship, after all the ups and downs or whatever. Turns out that she could go back to Yale after the truth came out about what Max did. And she's like, I don't know if that's what I want anymore, which good for her, change her mind. She's 17. She's living life, she's figuring stuff out. And the movie ends with Eleanor and Drea skipping graduation and going on this, friendship road trip and just living life, singing along on the radio and being happy. Now, there's some post-credit scenes where Drea actually makes up with Russ, and she tells what she did to Clarissa, about setting her up in the party and everything. It doesn't help Clarissa get out or anything because she did grow drugs on school grounds, which is stupid. But, Russ forgives her because, she told the truth. And that's all he wanted, really. And Eleanor, she makes up with Max's sister because she does this cute little romantic gesture or whatever. And Drea speaks to Max's sister and she's like, I understand everything that you did. And it's a cute little happy ending. So that was Do Revenge. Now I'm going to talk about a few of the characters and what I thought about the movie. I genuinely liked the movie. Like, it was a cute little revenge plot going on about friendship. There's a couple crazy parts. Like, Eleanor, she did a big one in this movie. But specifically, let's talk about some characters. Drea. I enjoyed her. Like, there were moments where I did not like her. Like, her personality was very narcissistic and controlling, and she was very obsessive about getting revenge on those people. And like, sometimes she would just not care about other people's feelings, and she would go all in, full throttle, just short-sighted. So that was a bit annoying, but hey, she played her part. Okay, like I said, I originally wanted to watch it because, you know, seeing her on Riverdale, I used to like that show, and even though Riverdale fell off towards the end, but she's a good actress, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot because of her. So like, she played her part, she did her thing. Her character was crazy in this, but not as crazy as Eleanor. Uma Thurman's daughter. Jesus, I don't know why that took me so long to get that out. Yes, she was another reason why I really wanted to watch her, because she was another main character, and I really liked her in Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things, so seeing her, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this. And she played her part. Her character was crazy. Like, I really thought the entire time it was going to be like this cute little friendship, doing revenge on people that wronged him thing. I did not expect that twist, but I liked it. I like twists that I don't expect, even though it was a little obvious, but not at the same time. So that was just really fun. And it's really nice to see her in like something different than Stranger Things, because I haven't seen her in anything else other than Stranger Things and now this movie. So it's really good to see like her acting range, and it was fun. It was a really fun movie. Tara, all of her friends, let's just group all of them together. Terrible people. I know Tara redeemed herself towards the end, you know, trying to be a good person or whatever, but yeah, all of them, terrible friends, terrible people, and yeah, there's not much I can say past that. Max, the big man on campus, the golden boy, absolute trash, complete trash of a character. But, you know, the actor did his job. His job was to make me hate him, and he did his job. So kudos to the actor for doing that. Okay, so that is all I have for Do Revenge. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, please subscribe, please like, and put down a comment for something that you want me to do next. Like I said, I'm doing TV shows and movies. I will eventually get to the TV shows, so let me know what you guys are interested in, and I will see you in the next one.